A pulse rifle that not only feels good, but feels right in your hands regardless of the perks. I've been using this beauty for about 3 weeks straight and I have yet to remove it from my current loadout. Ladies and gentlemen, today we'll be taking a closer look at the Outlast pulse rifle. I hope you'll enjoy the show. The Outlast is an energy pulse rifle, part of the now less popular 540 RPM archetype. Manufactured by the man who abolished the harrowed name of Dredgen and now conducts his Gambit and Gambit Prime activities as the Drifter, you can acquire this rifle by completing Prime bounties and killing likenesses of Oryx in the Tier 3 edition of the Reckoning. The curated role, however, can only drop from the likenesses of Oryx, and that is what we'll be covering today. Let's get started. First things first, understand that the base stats and frame all work wonderfully together to the point where if it didn't have any perks at all, it will still slay and slay very well. The curated role comes with Hammer Forged Rifling, Tactical Mag, Zen Moment, and Kill Clip. Now, I have a personal favorite role that we'll briefly talk about later, but for now, let's go over the curated perks. Hammer Forged Rifling increases the range by 10. This is slightly important because we know that it is a rapid fire frame pulse, so just like some hand cannons, range is important. Next up we have Tactical Mag, which increases the base magazine from 32 to 36 rounds. Again, extremely beneficial. Now here is where things get saucy. Zen Moment. Now I'm playing on PC where the recoil is kind of nowhere to be found, but one thing I did notice was that it helped me line up my shots better. Every round would just go in a straight line instead of going slightly to the left or to the right. You know, it's a small feature, but it's definitely a welcome one for sure. And finally, Kill Clip. Just like the Half-Dan D, this is basically the game changer. The trick is to not let the power increase get to your head, as you're not invincible, but you're still pretty powerful. The optimal TTK sits at 0.8 seconds, but with Kill Clip that's almost cut in half, and I found myself laughing like a dumbass slaying all these poor souls who did not know they would be dust in less than a second. A backup mag mod would be my recommendation since it gives you more rounds to play with to perform multiple roles in just one magazine. An example. Let's say you're holding down a lane with a freshly reloaded Outlast. Your radar tells you there's an enemy guardian about to round the corner and enter your line of fire. So you pre-fire. The enemy guardian walks into the lane, he dies. His buddy comes in to kill you, but you kill him first because you have just enough in your mag to get by. That's a true story, by the way. The curated role is an absolute blast to play around with, and I can only imagine what would happen if I had my personal god role, which is basically Hammer Forged Rifling, accurized rounds, Feeding Frenzy, and Kill Clip. I would do unspeakable things if I could get my hands on a role like that. All in all though, the Outlast is just a blast to use. Unlike the Half-Dan D where I mentioned that certain class builds and strats should be used or considered to enhance the performance of that rifle, none of that is actually needed here. If you're a good shot, you will absolutely adore this pulse rifle. And remember, there's no such word as extinction. Anyway, that'll do it for me. I've been your host, Wall, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.